Greetings to all. So today we will see how to install Ollama on a machine. I explain, in fact, the thing is that on my VPS we have already installed Ollama, except that I have only RAM and processors. I don't have a big graphics card that will run a fairly powerful language model. So to overcome this problem, I actually have a machine at home that allows me to do this, and I'm really going to dedicate an Ollama system to it. With my 12 gigabytes of RAM on my RTX 3070. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to install Ollama on my PC, and I'm going to open the ports that are fine. So we saw it in a previous video, how to open the ports. I'm going to make the parameters. I'm going to download the language model that interests me, and then I'm going to connect my n8n to this Ollama. But this Ollama of my home PC just to use the power of my graphics card for my automations, so that it is really full local. If you have a dedicated server that already has a big RTX graphics card, no problem. You can still use the Ollama that is installed locally on your machine. It's just that I'm using hybrid, that is to say, to reduce costs. I use my home machine to solicit my graphics card, and I have my VPS to host everything, n8n and all that. So for this nothing simpler, we go to the site deollama.com and we will download Ollama. So you see it's available for Mac, Linux and Windows, so I download it for Windows and let's go. We went for the installation, we install hop, so we install, you'll see it's very simple. Okay, so when Ollama has finished installing, in fact it will be here and there, you see it, it runs and it is well launched. So there we will leave it, and to relaunch it, well, quite simply, you see in the recharge bar, you type Ollama application. It goes back to standby and you see there it is launched, so it is really very simple to use. Okay, so now that we have Ollama installed, how are we going to use it? So simply in your search bar here, you will write CMV. You take your command prompt. This is simply what we are interested in. So we are going to download LLaMA 3.2. So we are going to mark it for the next day. Cool. And LLaMA 3.2, I'm going to bring it in. And there you see he's going to download the LLaMA 3.2 model on my bike. So we're going to let him do it quietly. Well, you can go drink a little coffee because it's a little long to download. So here we can see that it's over. So we're simply going to test it. Hey. We see that it's going to load n8n 3.2. There I sent him a message, so I said hello there, hello, how can I help you today? So there I chat with the model and my 3.2 locally on my bike, and he also answers me really quickly. So here we installed our Ollama server and we have LLaMA 3.2 which is available. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to reopen a command line. I think that if I make Ollama list, so you see here we have the list of models that we download. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a version of DeepSeek also. So I'll score hands down. Oh there, if like that, I will have almost all the models I want, and I will even take advantage of it afterwards to take Mistral. So we'll meet up a little later because it's going to take time. So now I have finished downloading my models, and now what we're going to do is we are going to create an environment variable which is important to make our server accessible. And then outside, so there we will start with the variables. So there we modify the system environment variables. We're going to come across this little thing here. You're going to click on environment variable. And here we're going to make new variable, and the name of the variable, we're going to call it Ollama from the bottom. And here what you are going to do, you are going to mark 0.0, 0.02, 11,034. You doing okay? So here we added the variable Ollama from the bottom host 0.0, 0.011434. So here I go. Okay, I'm going to close my hand and I'm going to relaunch it. It has successfully restarted, and now we are going back. Remember, in the settings of our box, here we go. Remember, I return to the notepad of my server, finally of my box, sorry. And so there we are going to open the TCP port on my equipment. So the port is 11.4.341.14.34. And they're exceptionally here in restrict this rule. More incoming, I will put the IP address of my Comptabo server. So I will recover it. And I put it here so no one else can access it except my server. In fact, this increases security even more. So here I apply. Here we see that the rule is well established. So there my server at the LLaMA is now listening for me one night 10. So now that our server is ready to welcome Ollama, we will be able to move on to our agent suite. So we will meet in a next video.